After all, the artist himself is here with us. And as you all know, that we are going to listen some beautiful, vibrant music of flute. Yes, none other than Ronu Majumdar is here with us. Namaskar, namaste, and welcome to Star Darbar.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for giving us your time. I know that we're gonna listen a little bit of the music, but before that, my viewers, my worldwide viewers, they are really excited to meet you. And also would love to ask you this thing that we were discussing the other day, that you are born in Benares and then living in Mumbai and started this instrument, playing this instrument. But when you were little, how you started and what was your motivation towards this?
I was 6 years old when I started learning. There was no motto or such thing. Actually, I used to play around with the flutes as a toy. And I broke many flutes in Varanasi, playing with them like a toy. So as a punishment, my father asked me to practice. I broke actually 6 flutes.
My goodness.
And my father said, you have to practice. There is no punishment, but the punishment is the practice. So the punishment came as a blessing to me. And I started practicing 6 hours every day. And 6 hours or more. And then I fell in love with the instrument. And after coming to Mumbai in 1973, I went to learn from a famous guru who is no more with us, Pandit Vijay Raghav Rao. He became my Guruji. And I got a Mayar Gharana Talim after that. Because he was disciple of Pandit Ravi Shankarji, Bharat Ratna Pandit Ravi Shankarji. So this is how it all happened.
My goodness. And also tell us a little bit about your dad, because as you just explained that he used to give you this like, okay, you just broke your flute, so now you have to practice more. So was he your first guru, if you say in that way?
He was my first guru. Though he was not a full-time musician, he was a homeopathic doctor, medical doctor, and a great oil painter of his time. And my all 3 gurus are in the heaven now. And Pandit Ravi Shankarji, Pandit Vijay Raghav Rao, Dr. Ronu Majumdar, my father. And but he still was a very good flute player, Bansuri player, and he learned from pioneer of Bansuri, Pandit Pannalal Ghosh.
Wow.
This is Panna Babu's 111th year is going on. So we are celebrating the pioneer, the god of Bansuri, who is responsible, pioneer in the sense that he is responsible of bringing this folk pastoral instrument into the classical music, because Bansuri was always known as a tribal or folk instrument, always played in the bhatiyali or any folk music, or tipara flute, you can say. But Panna Babu, he was popularly, lovingly known as Panna Babu. So Pannalal Ghosh is responsible of bringing this instrument in 1936 into the raga music, that is classical, Indian classical music. So we all worship him as the god of Bansuri.
We would love to ask you a quick thing. If you can play something for my viewers, that will be really nice, because they are really waiting to hear you a little bit. So
Hansadwani for our viewers.
That was really mesmerizing. I do hope that my viewers, guys, are you happy or not? Yes, he is such a beautiful player. You have no idea. I am really fond about him. I have lots of good memories from the childhood because I love instruments and different types of instruments, and he was one of them that I used to listen. And I'm really lucky today that we are here in the same screen, chatting with each other, and of course, asking him that how he started. I mean, this is really amazing. All right, so the next part is a little different meaning that you just said, and you just uttered the name of all your gurus who are not like a regular person. They are legends. They are stalwarts in their own way. How was your experience with your gurujis? Because what I believe that time you used to like a lot of students, they used to stay with the gurus and they used to learn like that. So was it the same for you as well?
But since Pandit Vijay Raghav Rao ji was in Mumbai only, so I never stayed with him. But after that, my Guruji, Pandit Vijay Raghav Rao ji, was very strict though, and that discipline of that time is really lacking today. Today's generation, or gurus are teaching more online, and this is very different time, different era, or different style, or different. But those days we used to just sit with Guruji for 5-6 hours, learn the intricacies of music, not only flute, and the way of life, Guruji. But once I remember, we play the 7-hole technique, and we use this little finger also, pinky, and I did not use it properly, and he said, "You can just leave my home. You should never come." That
Wow.
strict the learning was. And I went to Ulhasnagar and I started crying because I was just 12 years old. So my father was really happy that it happened to me. He said that this is Guru's blessing. Now you prepare what he said, and then you can go and he will welcome you. And same thing happened with me. That's what happened to me. I started practicing. I had a swollen finger because I was practicing 8-9 hours of that particular thing, particular exercise. And I went to Guruji, and he smiled at me and he said, "Please come." So Guru's anger or Guru's mood, and we had to really face those things. Then staying with Guruji and Gurukul style, I got after 1980 with my grand guru and my guru, Pandit Ravi Shankarji. Then in Delhi, I started staying with him weeks, months, and learned few things as much as possible, as much as I could take it. And because he was an ocean of music, and one could only take little bit, depending on your ability. So that experience also I received, I got, I went through, I've experienced, and Pandit Ravi Shankarji gave me that opportunity to stay with him and learn from him.
Ronuji, one thing I'm really thinking to ask you, that these days, a lot of time we due to like social media and lots of different ideas now, really booming, I can say. But what do you think that the touch of our pure classical music, right? Isn't that the true thing? Or everyone who even want to play something different, and maybe a folk tune that you just explained before, but do you think that everyone should have a training from the classical background?
I really believe in it, the learning of classical music, because that is the foundation of every music in India, especially. I'm not talking about Western music. One has to go to through the training properly. Nowadays, the social media platforms are useful, of course, huge advantage for newcomers, but at the same time, it is a disadvantage in a way that anybody can put any music without asking their gurus. So in the same platforms, you have Pandit Ravi Shankar ji and somebody playing Besura out of tune. So who will stop them? Sometimes the listeners are very innocent and uninformed or untrained. So they don't know how to differentiate with good music and bad music. Any music which is Besura out of tune cannot be called good music. But sometimes it becomes viral and the person or the newcomer, whoever has put the music, he or she thinks that they are big artists. So that's the huge trauma, I can say, in our field at present. So I don't know how to deal with it. Maybe people should see what is good music and what is just some newcomer. And I would humbly suggest the newcomers, please respect the subject. You are running after the success, not subject. So it is subjective thing. If you are going for medical or engineering or anything like that, or professor or anything, you learn the subject. Why not musicians think about it and learn it seriously? Because it is a huge, big subject. Why you feel that I'm somebody God gifted and I can do anything? God gifted also needs some nurturing, So God gifted doesn't mean that people think Kishore Kumar was God gifted and not learn it. That's wrong. Kishore Kumar I played hundreds of songs with Kishore Da in early 80s up to all the way his death. And he was a learned musician. His sur was so pakka, so perfect, that once Pandit Jasraj ji said that Kishore Da ko pankhe se latka denge, if you hang him in the fan, still he will be in tune. So he will be pitch perfect. So imagine the kind of sur Kishore Kumar had. So I think subject has to be respected. And then our field, our subject will flourish. Otherwise, we will slowly lose that Ravi Shankar ji, Ali Akbar Khan Sahab, that huge era and that huge thing. And Ustad Ashish Khan and, Ustad Bade Ghulam Ali Khan and that Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, all these things, Pandit Pannalal Ghosh, this fragrance has to be maintained.
You just said that you have played several numbers with Kishore Kumar ji. So, so do you remember that which were the songs? And because I know that my viewers, they would love to know that, because they're all now like thinking, oh my God, may I know the song? So, yeah, if you can say a few names, that will be great.
Sure. I played Sagar Kinare in Dil Ye Pukare, in Sagar film, and Unche Log, Tu Mera Kya Lage, that song I played. Tu Mera Kya Lage, O Sathiya. And then Kishore Da sang one song for Ravindra Jain. Mostly I played for Pancham Da those days. And Na Jaane Kab Kaise Mil Jate Hain Jaise. So that song was also super hit. Then in Bengali, famous album I played, full album with Kishore Da called Rakhal Chandro Matal.
Oh wow!
Okay. That album I played in the Durga Pujo. It's called Pujo album. Puja album.
Yeah,
So
that time it was really very special for all of us from HMV, especially that they used to come up with all these beautiful songs and music just to celebrate this festive season. So this that was really fantastic. Because of that, I have so many childhood memories like that. Like buying those LP records and just seeing like what's new. I had no idea that time that who are these people, but my household members, like they were pretty much in the music, and they love to hear and collect all those LPs. So I mean, so surely please tell us more about that time, Ronuji. That was really awesome. Please share some lights.
basically, Kishore Da was, as Rajesh Roshan always said, he was a fearless singer. You see, he would go to the microphone and start dancing or anything, crack jokes with Lataji, and still sing perfect. So in Rakhal Chandra Matal, I remember I was playing this song in Bengali called Hawa Megh Shorai. Hawa Megh Shorai. So this song, say, I am getting goosebumps, you see. So
I am getting goosebumps as you are singing. You will, that is no doubt.
So in that song, I had a lot of flute interludes, and Kishore Da would never look at anyone. He would be lost in his singing. But he smiled at me in between the recording, which is very risky for him also, which would have been risky for him because he stopped. He didn't stop, but it's very difficult to smile while singing. But he smiled at me and he said like this. So that was a huge compliment for me because Kishore Da would not look at anyone. That was recorded in old HMV Firoz Shah Mehta Road in Mumbai. Whole album Rakhal Chandra Matal. So there are huge memories. And then when Uttam Kumar, Mahanayak of Bengali films, he died. And that time I went to Kishore Das' house. And Kishore Das' home is known as Gauri Kunj. The house is named after Kishore Das' mother, Gauri Ma. So it was so great time just to sit with him. And he would be with his Bengali Punjabi kurta and in his lungi and in his very typical style. So then I played live with him that song Amar Pujar Phul Bhalobasha Hoye Gelo. So that song was written and composed as a tribute to Uttam Kumar, and I played flute in that. So in my early days, along with my classical journey, I have a very good memories of film music and light music. With Asha ji, I played Khali Haath Shaam Aayi Hai, Khali Haath Jayegi. That song from film Ijazat, Nasiruddin Shah. So there are many songs. Jameen Asman is played by me. Aisa Sama Na Hota. Lataji's. That intro music is played by me. So there are many songs I don't even remember. First song I played for Panchamda when Dokina Mohan Thakur took me to Film Center and introduced me to Panchamda. First song I played is Yaad Aa Rahi Hai, the old love story of Kumar, first film of Kumar Gaurav. So that song is played by me.
How was your experience with the Panchamda? Because like as you were saying, yes, I'm just all I don't know, I'm just feeling I don't know, so nostalgic with all this story that you are saying. So let me know that how was your experience working with him? Because how long it used to take to learn that prelude or interlude music?
Interludes were composed definitely by Basu Manohari, Basu Kaka and Manorida. Because they were assistant of Panchamda. But I think Pancham magic I felt first day itself. when I was introduced to him. So in the intro music, if you see yaad aa rahi hai, teri yaad aa rahi hai. So that song starts with my flute. So Pancham Da would he was ahead of time. You see, he gave that freedom to all the players that play the way you want. He never वो बंधन जो होता है that he never used to hold our talent. That no, this piece should be played the way I want only. No, he would go to even a small side rhythm player and say that you are playing resho, chick, 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 or anything. He would give that freedom to side rhythm players and create new sound. He was looking, his whole body was full of music. I played one song. Mithun Chakravarti was Mithun Da came to the studio and film was Arpar. And Mithun Da came because Mithun Chakravarti had to act on that. You see, the song was O Maji Teri Naiya Se Chuta Kinara. That was on the, because you are Bengali, you will know the Bhatiyali style.
Bhatiyali style, yes.
I would just sing one line. O Maji Teri Naiya Se Chuta Kinara Kahan le chali समय की धारा. So whole song was full of flute, and Panchamda was singing that song, not that some other singer he called. He was singing himself. So what he told me in Bengali, Ronu, just song, গানটার সঙ্গে তুমি জড়িয়ে যাও, গানটার সঙ্গে জড়িয়ে নিয়ে তুমি চলো আমার সঙ্গে. So that one sentence in Bengali gave me that freedom of expression, that sky is the limit for my improvisation in the song, and that song became huge thing. And it was Shakti Samant movie, if I remember right. Shakti Da was there, and Arpar came in Bengali also. So Bengali, same song was dubbed in Bengali also, and Bengali Hindi both.
I just want to request you. I know that it's really hard, but I want to request you that if you can play something, from one or two of the songs, from the Hindi films. जैसे आपने अभी बताया that love story. Please play a little bit from there, and something that's your favorite as well. So that will be really fantastic for my viewers. Please, Ronuji, that's my request.
Love story, याद आ रही है, intro music.
As I told you, Ronuji, that your experience is vast, with all these composers, with all these beautiful, phenomenal artists, like they are all, I can say that our idols, and whoever is singing or has started singing, they are all looking towards all these legendary composers and music directors. I mean, so the tune you just played, it was really splendid and mesmerizing. Now a little tricky question for you, Ronuji. I know that it's very hard to tell. If I ask you that all the songs that you played, right, all the songs, which one do you think that it's totally connected to your soul?
Oh my God. I think the song Kishore Das sang, and I played. I had tears. Kishore Da got the best singer award, Filmfare award in that song, and शीशे के घरों में देखो तो पत्थर दिल वाले रहते हैं, जो प्यार को खेल समझते हैं और तेल तोड़ के दिल को हंसते हैं, शीशे के घरों. See, you know what happened in Antara? I was playing. I had tears. The way Dada was singing, nobody can sing like that. Dada was singing Antara, and I had one filler. Still, I remember the position that immediately it looks like I have a flute in my hand. So, you know, that pain of the song somehow came in my flute. And Sanam Teri Kasam, title song was huge hit. जितने भी तू कर ले सितम, हंस हंस के सहेंगे हम, ये प्यार ना होगा कम, सनम तेरी कसम. That was huge super hit. But my favorite is शीशे के घरों में, and Kamal Hassan was acting on that. Of course, Sanam Teri Kasam, Kamal Hassan, Reena Roy, huge super hit movie, and all the songs were Pancham magic. I would say Pancham magic lives on forever. And when I listen to that song, and one Bengali song, এই তো জীবন চিতাতেই সব শেষ, music by Ajay Das and written by Ronu Majumdar. He died in cancer.
Yes.
Ronu Majumdar. So he was in the studio, and I played in Sunny studio. Was Sunny studio, Dharmender's studio, and Kishore Da did not take a single penny for that song. He had tears, and he just left the studio after recording. He was crying. Sober shesh chita. Chitatei sob shesh. I'm sorry. চিতাতেই সব শেষ, হায় চিতাতেই সব শেষ, এই তো জীবন. So that, I think that was one of the best song in Bengali songs history by Kishore Kumar. I think people had tears. So I'm lucky to be associated with those songs. And Panchamda's thing, if I say that Panchamda came to my home, came to my classical concert, and he sat with me on the stage and was listening to my solo concert. So that also happened. His love for me was so selfless, so unconditional love.
Ronuji, don't you think that all the musicians are like that? I do believe so, because their soul is totally different. They're so humble and so gorgeous in their own way, and mostly, well, the era that you are talking about, I think that time the competition was less, and it was more like, let's create good music. I think so. How about you?
Absolutely. In our classical music, you can see, I have experienced Kishori Amonkar ji loved my flute, and many bhajans I played with her in the recordings. She was like a child, and at times she would have arguments with me about music, like maa bete ka jhagda. So I would argue with her, and she would, like a little girl, she would say, "Arey, tu theek bolta hai." So that relationship with Kishori Tai Amonkar, who is no more with us, will always stay in my heart as long as I live. And my grand guru and my guru Pandit Ravi Shankar ji was innocent like child. And he was grandfather of Indian music, as George Harrison said, and as Yehudi Menuhin said that he was Mozart of Indian music. So Ravi Shankar ji would be so emotional if one filler I played in Moscow Festival of India like that. Ha 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 ha. So he would forget that he's conducting. Pandit Ravi Shankar, just imagine. He would forget that he's conducting and 5,000 people are sitting. He would just be very emotional, and that video is still there, live in Kremlin Palace. So, where myself, Tarunda, Vishnu Mohan Bhattji, and we all were there, Pandit Kumar Ghosh, and who not? All his students. And so, you are absolutely right. We connect with the Almighty through our musical notes, and we know that this is our life, and we got this from some other births. The music is coming from some other planet. So that's why we are, we love people. We love the life, and everything is so pink in color for us. And, this is our soul. Very simple. And this is what we are.
My viewers, you know that we are going to chat a lot, and we are going to chat more because there are lots of questions in my mind for Ronuji, because such a learned, skilled flute player, and not only in classical era, but as well as you already heard him that how much he is and he was involved in the Bollywood music. We are going to come back with him next week as well. And so do not go anywhere, because next week we have more fantastic question and answer round with our favorite Pandit Ronu Majumdar. And yes, if you missed tonight's Darbar, what you're gonna do? Well, you already know that. You can always see our repeat telecast and join us. Subscribe us, our YouTube channel. Yes, and that's Mana TV. And of course, please come back for our Facebook page. That's also Mana TV. So, Ronuji, thank you so much for tonight. We are going to chat longer next week. Namaste.